Hey everyone. So it's been a while since I made my last video, and I figured today would be a good time to get caught back up and show you guys what's been going on. So let's get started. Okay, so I have here some of the ones that have been in my previous videos. My dad's little International LA. I need to get it running again. I'm gonna probably try to get another one from Cool Spring this fall and make one good engine out of two, because this thing, the bearings sound awful in it. But other than that, it's there. I just need to get it running again and fix it up. This little thing is a Maydog. Supposed to mimic the yellow dog lanterns, like the oil well lanterns that you see at some of the engine shows. I thought this was pretty cool. I actually picked it up a while ago. It's dusty. I mean, I gotta rinse it off, and it's got new wicks, so just gotta fill it full of kerosene or lamp oil or whatever, and fire it up and try it out. Look forward to bringing that to a show. A little 2-horse Fairbanks. This thing here is a little 1-horse International Titan. Book says it's a Titan Famous. I'm pretty sure it's the same engine, maybe minor differences, but this one's the early one because it has the brass muffler or bronze muffler. Pretty sure that's a recast though, because that looks too new to be original. The rod is original though, and that's a brass connecting rod in here, I think. Brass or bronze, one of the two. And I'm actually getting ready to put a cart together for that, so I can get it running again. It has really good compression, so it shouldn't take much to get this going again. My 1 3/4 horse Mogul, I need to play around with it a little bit and mess with the governor, because this thing starts to bounce all over the place at shows, and it just runs a little faster than I'd like. I know throttlers typically run pretty quick, but this one's has a tendency to run away on me sometimes, so I have to fatten the mixture up, and then it starts smoking, which I don't like. But because that's how you start fouling igniters out and everything. But I'll figure it out at some point. And my 2.5 horse Foose. I picked this up from the Portland, Indiana engine show a couple years back, and I'm tickled pink with this thing. It's a really, really nice engine. Somebody finished the flywheels, did a hell of a job restoring this thing. Interesting thing is that this flywheel, the governor side flywheel, is just the regular flywheel, and then this one here is wider, like it's an electric flywheel. So I'm wondering if this was actually designed specifically for running like a dynamo or running something along the lines of that. Although hit and miss is not the best for a dynamo, because you want a constant speed. So the fact that it has a wider flywheel on there, like a special electric flywheel, is kind of interesting. But very, very smooth runner. The only thing I need to do to it is get some wicking for the oil baths, so that way you can run them down those holes for the mains, because this doesn't have grease cups like most engines. This has oil baths. Really nice piece though. Little 1-horse T&M. That's a cute little engine too. I mean, it's tiny. I mean, my hand pretty much covers the entire hopper, so it's a small little engine, but it'll sit there and run all day. It's great. 3.5 horse domestic, which I'm on the fence about. It's probably going to get traded. Got a buddy of mine that's got something I'm interested in, so might see if I work a deal with him on that. Behind the T&M is my little 1-horse Gilson skeleton base, and I've had it running briefly. I need to get it out and put different wheels on it. It's got push mower wheels in the front of it, and they look kind of stupid, but it's functional. That's all that matters. And then back there is my 3.5 horse Lister. I think it's a 3.5 horse. It's either a 3 or 3.5, one of the two. But that thing is a beast, and it's throttle governed, and it's really, really nice. Sits there, runs smooth. It has an oil and a fuel pump on it, if you can see when I zoom in there. So there's 2 pistons right there, are an oil and a fuel pump. And the tank, of course, is right there. And then that little lid with the wing nut on it is the oil chest that it pumps from. Has a flipper mag on there. With this being an English engine, I don't know if that's a Bosch mag or a Lucas mag, one of the two, but very nice regardless. And then on a really nice heavy duty cart. And then to the tractors. So my dad's Cub Cadet, it's got my name on it, but my dad's old Cub Cadet 70. Runs good. I still have the Maryland Steam Historical Society tag on it from the Arcadia show last September. And more than likely it's going to be going back there again this year. I'm not sure. Debating on whether or not to take that or my old 71 Sears over here. It needs a starter on it. The clutch is bad, so it sits there and squeaks. But and the Briggs on there is getting a little tired, but it still runs good. Good enough to putt around at shows, because that's all I really do with it. And we pan around here. This is my 5-horse Empire. It's been painted green, obviously, like a Hercules Hunter green, which is the wrong color for these. They should be a blue. But interesting setup on this engine. So if I get around here, I know I got stuff everywhere here. The warehouse is getting a little full, and this isn't even a half of it. But anyway, this tag's been loved, but 5 horsepower, I think that says 485 RPM. I can't tell because the seam's broken there, but it looked like a 4 at one time. Number 82669. Okay, so anyway, this would have had a Wizard magneto on it, and they're not the most reliable mags out there. It's got a massive oiler on here. It's plastic. I think somebody's changed that at one point, but it works for this, so that's all that matters. The fuel tank fill, which is up pretty high, which is kind of nice. Greasers, speed controller here, which adjusts the latch out so it will coast longer or will coast shorter amount of time and then fires accordingly. But the interesting setup I was talking about, if I can pan around here. Sorry about the camera angle here. I'll try my best. Okay, so it's been converted to a spark plug, but it's a buzz coil setup, but the contact actually is a micro switch right here, like you would have on like a door or like a doorbell switch or something like that. So it comes up, and then the cam here on the bottom hits that switch, closes the circuit, causes the spark plug to fire. And I thought that was kind of clever. And it also has a fuel pump. So anyway, there's that, and it's on a really nice low profile heavy cart. Some point in time I'm gonna have to drag this out and get it running again. It runs, I just haven't had it out in a while. This one here is kind of particularly rare. It's a 1-year only engine. It's a 1914 Hercules Economy Model D, and this is basically the Sparta transition engine, because it has the rounded edge like the Hercules hopper, but it's square, it's longer, like a boxy rectangular style one like a Sparta. And it also still has the Elkhart Magneto, which these are very, very desirable. It has the gears, everything else, and let's see. Ooh, it's actually getting better compression the more I run it. That's great, because the first time I got this thing, it had like 0 compression whatsoever. It would still run, surprisingly, but just goes to show, if you run them a little bit and get the rings to seat back in them and get the valves to seat properly and burn and knock the carbon loose, they'll usually come back to life. And has a really nice pulley on it too. So get that going eventually. I need to make a new handle for the tongue because it had some flimsy piece of like wire kind of thing on there that wasn't even like a strong handle like that Empire has. It was just really, really easily bendable, and it broke. So step ladder out of the way here. All right. Okay, now this thing is my 5-horse Witty Diesel. This is going bye-bye. This was my glorious invention that obviously you can tell did not work. I tried to basically put a tank on it so I could run it longer, and it just broke. But this cart that it's sitting on is not really good for this engine. It's too heavy for this thing. It's a welder cart. It's a low profile cart, but it bounces really bad. And so I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I got a new project going on for this thing. Really nice running engine. Really the only thing I had to do to it is lube the rack up because it was stuck when I got it. And once I did that, I spun it over, dropped it, and when I say dropped it, I dropped the compression release, and it took off. I was kind of shocked. And I've already changed the oil in it and everything else. The only thing I really do need to do is there's a kink in the line right here, and I'd like to try to find, if I can, find a way to get the kink out without having to undo all this, because then I have to bleed it, which is not a big deal, but if I don't have to take it apart and it's not leaking, I don't want to mess with it. But that's a project for another day. It's a little hot out here right now, so we'll get to it eventually. But these things, by the way, I'm glad I got them back. So a while ago, I had these things and I had to sell them. I'd gotten some issues with my prior job. I'd gotten laid off, and kind of sucked because I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff. But I'm glad that I was able to at least buy these back, and I'm happy about that. So this is a General Electric Electrac garden tractor. It just goes to show all the crazy things General Electric got their hands into back in the day, besides making light bulbs and appliances and industrial like fans and dynamos and things like that. They made all kinds of stuff, and they made garden tractors for a while, which was really, really neat. So I have this one's the E12 model, and the M stands for mid-mount because this actually would have a mid-mount mower, as opposed to my E15 up here, which had the front-mounted mower like most of them you see. But anyway, so this thing, it's parked too close to the other one. I can't open the hood up. Well, I can open the back up then, I guess. So this thing, as you can probably imagine, is electric as its name. It's powered by batteries. Now, I think eventually I'm going to upgrade and just put 3 12-volt batteries in this thing, because these 6-volt golf cart cells, these ones are kind of getting a little old. There's 2 in the front and 4 in the back. Number one, it makes these things ridiculously heavy. 2, these batteries are pretty old. I mean, they were in it when I bought the thing about 2 years ago, and I don't even know how long they had been sitting by then. And they don't really hold a charge very well anymore, and they're expensive. I mean, a set of 6 of these batteries were like $800, where I could spend half of that and get 3 12s, because I'm just using them just for shows and putting around. I'm not mowing with them. I'm not tilling with them. I'm not using snow blowers or anything like that are really going to have a serious amp draw. It's just the motor and driving around. And I really don't believe all that stuff. People say, oh, well, you can't put 3 12-volt deep cycle marine batteries in here because the plates will warp or any of that. They're not drawing that many amps when they're just driving around. It would be different if I was, like I said, mowing with it or something where it's going to draw some serious power. For putting around, they'll be just fine. Might not get as much run time because the amp hours were lower. They think these are 215 amp hours a piece. But like I said, it just for putting around at shows, and you're not going to be driving them all day. I mean, you're going to drive around a little bit, look at stuff, park them, and show them with the rest of your stuff, and sit down and chill out. So I think it'll just be just fine for what I want to use. So this one has the 3-speed. So you have low, then you have drive 1, drive 2, and then here's your disconnect. I've replaced the one in this one because the original one broke. So you flip this back like so. Okay, your power comes up, and it's in the green, so they actually did take a charge when I charged it last time. This gauge here, if you're climbing up a hill, it will move up a little bit, but as long as you keep this needle in the green, or like below the yellow space, I would say, if you keep it in the green space, you're not eating the batteries alive, which is good. Apologize for the camera here. So you have light switch here, your on off for your key, which controls your joystick, which is forward and reverse. Your power pulse, this apparently is like a turbo of some sort. You push this as you're going up a hill, and it's supposed to like kick it into higher gear, or like amp the motor up a little more so you get a little more speed. I've never tried it. I don't even know if it works. I have to try it. PTO contactor right there. But that's the smaller one. And the bigger one here is my E15 model. I believe both of these are from like 1969 or 1970, somewhere around there. They only made these tractors for a few years. Obviously, you can understand why. The batteries just got really expensive. But they're kind of a novelty thing, and I like the odds and ends in my collections. So this one's a little bit different. You have a lift on here. It used to work. Unfortunately, it's not working now. It might just be a blown fuse or a bad connection. I have to figure that out. This has the original style disconnect in it, where you just push it in and pull it up. Again, same gauges, fuel level, power use, PTO, a dash light, on-off switch for your key, and light switch, forward and reverse. Now, this one actually is a 4-speed, and I got a new decal on there, but I need to smooth the bubbles out of it because you couldn't see where your shift points were. So you use neutral, you have low, double low, which is like turtle crawl. I mean, it's dead slow. And then you have drive 1, drive 2. Drive 2 is pretty quick. I need to take that tire off and put a tube in it because you can see it's off the bead because it doesn't have a tube in it and it just blew off. So if I stick a tube in it, tire's fine, just need to reseat it. This one's a little bit different than the E12 though. So the E12 has just a forward reverse and it's go or no go. This has a variable speed controller in it to where you can set it like in increments, and it has micro switches that control it. Unfortunately, this one does not have reverse. I don't know if it just has a bad relay that I need to adjust or replace. It's actually what those two little boxes are sitting on the Cub Cadet right there are newer style cube relays for this thing. But I really need to study the wiring diagrams on this thing and figure out where it all goes. Because it's a nightmare worth of wiring in there. But it does run in forward now. It wasn't doing anything before, and I finally got forward working again, so I'm happy about that. But anyway, that's enough for in the shop here. Let's go check out what we got going on outside. All right, so as I said, I'm putting together some carts and stuff. And here is the cooling tank and the rig I'm working on for my 5-horse WIT diesel, or Witty diesel. I've heard it pronounced different ways, WIT, Witty, whatever. But putting this together, I got the cooling tank all strapped in, and I got the framework all bolted down. I just gotta cut the decking and screw it down, and I have a tongue for the front, and then mount the diesel to it, and it'll be done. And then plumb it in, of course. Stupid thing is, though, is that it goes from it's going to be kind of getting choked down a little bit, but I think it'll work just fine. The top of the engine is 1.25 inch pipe, and the bottom is 1 inch. This is 1/2 inch. It's not 3/4, it's 1/2 inch. So, and there's a union on here. I don't know if I'm going to reuse that or not, but we'll probably play with that at some point. I just have to get the engine mounted first and then measure and figure out how much pipe I need. But yeah, apologize, my shop's kind of a mess right now. I'm cleaning up some stuff. This thing, another engine. It's a 6 horsepower Alpha de Laval Lawson. It's a Canadian engine, EK fired, and it runs really, really good. I got it on a cart. I got to put 2 more bolts in the front end of it, but it's coming along pretty well. Finally got a new glass in the Fairlane, and once I get some brake work done on it, it'll be back on the road. Same with the Studebaker, doing some brake work on it and getting it done. Old jukebox that was my grandfather's, I got to get it worked on and going again. Let's see, come through here. Excuse the maze. A 5-horse Des Jardins, which is still sitting on the skids. I'm getting a cart for it at Cool Spring this fall, so at least that'll be mobile and I can actually move it and do what I need to do with it. And same with this, I'm getting a cart for this too. It's a 7 horsepower Stickney. I've been starting to work on it a little bit more. I still need to plumb in the fuel tank and everything, but I got it to pop a few times. I finally got the new governor, the drum governor, installed in the back of it. So I'm gonna try to see if I can save that skid. These have a weird mounting footprint on them, so I guess their logic was that it would, I guess to prevent it from tipping over, like it would flex a little bit, because it has a mounting foot here and one in the back, but it has a pin, if you can see, right here that it hinges on. I've never seen that before. And I mean, this thing, the camera's not doing it justice. This engine is massive. I mean, the hopper is like just a solid chunk of cast iron. And I mean, the flywheels are, I'm pretty sure these have 38-inch flywheels on them. I mean, they're huge. And the crankshaft is pretty much, I mean, I can't even wrap my entire hand around it. It's that big. But we have that, and then on the side note here, for all the other vintage stuff that I have it's running right now, and it's warm. It's a 1927, I believe, General Electric monitor top refrigerator. Still works, and I got some waters in there now. I gotta restock it with some more stuff, but you can see it's cold. I mean, that's the freezer section there. Probably needed to defrost it at some point, but it's cold. I've got the temperature kind of set at a middle point because I don't need it to be too terribly cold, because I don't want this thing to run non-stop. I mean, as old as it is, but I mean, it's keeping up. It's warm, it's doing its job. So, well, there you have it. That's about what I have going on. Again, I wanted to thank my subscribers for hanging in there. I'm sorry that I didn't really get a chance to make any new videos lately. Been having some stuff going on with work and life, and just haven't had a lot of time to make new content. But like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.